President Trump is known for playing well-known pop and rock hits at his rallies, but the Rolling Stones say they don't want their songs on a lawsuit for, quote, playing music that has not been licensed. The statement said the Trump campaign had been notified of their intentions and that previous, quote, cease-and-desist directives had been ignored. The band's hit, You Can't Always Get What You Want, has repeatedly been played at President Trump's rallies. Back in 2016, Trump's then presidential campaign played the 1969 hit at least 4 times before a rally in Indiana. Comment has been sought from the Trump campaign, but no response received as yet.
Joining us now is Mark Lauder. He's Director of Strategic Communications for the Trump campaign. Mark, good to have you on tonight. We do appreciate you taking the time. So the cases in this country, they're going up. The deaths in this country are going up. The states who have a rising number of cases is going up. It's now most of them. And to be clear, the positivity rate, that is the percentage of people tested who test positive for COVID, is going up as well. How can the Vice President and the President claim that the U.S. is beating this virus?
Well, as you heard from Dr. Fauci, you heard from the Vice President and Dr. Birx today, in 34 states, we are seeing a decrease in terms of the positivity rate, even as the amount of testing and numbers are going up. It's the positivity rate that's going down. We have a problem in 16 states.
It's not going down nationally.
We
have the graphic. Let's show the positivity rate nationally in this country that belies that claim right there, because in fact, as the rates go up, I believe we have a graphic. Nationally, it is going up.
You can try to average this out nationally to try to shift the numbers as you wish, but what he was saying is 34 states, those numbers are going down. In 16 states, we have the problem of
what's wrong with averaging what's wrong with averaging out nationally? If you're talking about a response to a pandemic nationally and the federal government's national response, nationally, the positivity rate is going up. So how can you claim, and as you know, the death toll is going up every day. How can you claim to folks listening tonight that that's a win?
Very easily, Jim, because what's going on in Miami is not the same it's going on in Montana. And we need to be honest with the American people in that this is a virus that is very different in differing parts of our country, and the response by this administration and this president is reflective of that. So while we are monitoring
the 3 most populous states in this country, you could mention Montana, just a relatively sparsely populated state. The most populous states, Florida, Texas, California, where most people live, the rates are going up.
Absolutely. And as the president, Dr. Birx, Dr. Fauci all addressed today, it's something that we need to be cognizant of. It's something that they're very aware of. They have people on the ground. But because what we're seeing going on in some of these states, primarily in the Sun Belt states right now, does not mean that we have to do national things that don't necessarily also relate to the other 34 states where the rates are going down. So this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. You see the administration.
Okay, if you're saying nationally it shouldn't be one size fits all. In the states, grant us this if you can. In the states where cases are rising, positivity rates is up, should there be statewide then measures, simple ones like wear a mask, which the doctors say will save lives?
Not necessarily, because even within those states, and you saw it in the maps that were being shown today by Dr. Fauci, by Dr. Birx, even the response rates, the positivity rates are differing in various parts of each of these states. Southern Florida is very different than maybe what's going on in the Panhandle, or rural parts of Texas are much different than what's going on in Houston. So that's why we leave it to the states, to the governors, and
Mark,
to the mayors, the local executives, to make the decisions that are right for their states.
Mark, it's about lives. The latest model from the University of Washington says that 33,000 lives in this country, 33,000 Americans, their lives could be saved by October if 95% of people in America wore masks, if that was a national habit. What do you say to that data? Is it not worth? Is that simple step of wearing a mask not worth saving those lives?
It's a projection and it's an estimate. And I also remember the estimates being that we were going to have 1.5 to 2.2 million people die if we didn't do the initial 45 days.
The president said 2 months ago the deaths were going to disappear. Since then, 125,000 people died. Who got the model wrong?
Well, right now, because what they were saying is that it was going to be 100,000 to 250,000 if we did the slow the spread.
The president said zero, and 125,000 Americans have died since then. Who got it wrong?
What we're talking about is we have slowed the spread. We have cut that rate down from 2.5 million down to right now at 126,000. And every single one of those lives is a tragic loss.
You can say it as often as you want, but the numbers don't back you up, Mark.
Please don't forget to click subscribe and bell button.